Welcome back to AP English 3. It is term 2, and we're going to briefly go over what we have covered so far this year and then preview what we have coming up. So this is term 2, skill unit 2, and the beginning of philosophical inquiry. So the year so far we've covered skill unit 1 through College Board. That would be skill 1A, identifying and describing components of the rhetorical situation, the exigence, audience, writer, purpose, context, and message. We've covered 3A, identify and explain claims and evidence within an argument. We've covered skill 4A, developing a paragraph that includes a claim and evidence supporting the claim. So we started this back at the beginning with the Victor Hugo piece about cathedrals. We continued this reading from Tara Westover's Education, where we tried to analyze the claims and the evidence that she was using to justify her ideas. And we talked about the context of that rhetorical situation. We went into Frederick Douglass's How I Learned to Read and Write. And we looked at his use of claims and evidence, and we talked about the exigency for him. And we talked about who his audience was and how an understanding of his audience and how an understanding of the context helped to frame and shape his message to his audience. And we've just been continuing along in that idea of focusing on the idea of the rhetorical situation, focusing on understanding the link between the speaker, the audience, and the text, understanding how the exigence helps us to understand purpose and message. We got into Unit 2, and in Unit 2, we've focused a little bit more on audience. We've discussed the rhetorical appeals, ethos, pathos, and logos, and talked about how an understanding of them helps us to better appreciate the way that a writer is writing to the audience's beliefs, values, and needs. That would be skill 1B. And then we worked a little bit on the idea of trying to think about our own audience and think about the beliefs and needs of our own audience with skill 2B, demonstrating an understanding of an audience's beliefs, values, or needs. We are not done with skill unit 2. We still have 2 skills to work on. And like everything, they're grouped between reading skills and writing skills, 3B being a reading skill. Being able to identify and describe the overarching thesis of an argument and any indication it provides of the argument structure. And then 4B, writing a thesis statement that requires proof or defense and that may preview the structure of the argument. So where are we going to go from here? We had been working on a memoir essay as part of our memoir readings, but because of the way that things are changing in term 2, because I now have face-to-face and I have virtual environments, and I'm also teaching students from another high school in addition to Hightower. For fairness sake, we're pretty much just going to move on past most of what we were doing in term 1 on a content level, even though we're going to keep the same skills going. So the skills aren't changing, but we're not going to finish the memoir essay. We're just going to continue on to our next task, so that we can all start in the same place with a rhetorical analysis. We are also not going to continue with our memoir readings. We're going to move into the next unit of readings. So everybody's starting in the same place with the same readings, and we're going to move into our philosophical readings unit. The same skills of rhetorical analysis are going to be worked on, and we're going to complete those skills so that you should be able to write a complete rhetorical analysis by the end of term 2. We will still work on some of the skills of argumentation as well and do some practice with argument writing. But the ones that are really going to be assessed are the rhetorical analysis. So that gets us to a formative assessments. What major grades can you expect? Well, you can expect to have a rhetorical analysis essay, which will be graded using the AP rubric, the 6-point rubric that we've looked at before. There will be tests on skills through College Board, which is what we did in term 1 as well. So just as we had a unit 1 test, when we finished unit 1 on College Board's website, we will also have that happen when we are done with unit 2 through College Board. And then tests on the readings. So I said we're going to start a new unit of readings dealing with philosophical readings. And when we are done with all those readings, you can expect to have a test over those readings as well. So that is a brief recap of where we have been, and it's a brief idea of where we are going. And I look forward to continue to work with y'all through term 2, I guess at least through term 2.